Hi guys, welcome back. It's LSP. It's currently the 27th of February 2021. I was going to say 22 then, flipping it, I'm losing track of my years. I'm going to do the look ahead for next week. I'm going to go through the usual pairs and see if there's anything interesting to keep a track of going into the week. So I'm going to be going down to the 4 hour today as well, just to show you a few things, see if there's anything interesting to point out. So what I like to do, I've reset the chart on the Euro USD. Not all of the pairs, but just the Euro USD, and we'll see. First things first, what I want to do, if we just make a note of this consolidation here, okay, because you can see price has come up and it's responded there nicely, right? So we had this consolidation, price came up and it's responded, right? And it's come up a second time. So if we just extend this slightly, you can see it's responded a second time just here, all right? And we also have the consolidation below here, and we can see that price, it hasn't quite come down. It did tag the tail just there, and I suppose if you want to do the study, you go down into this tail and see where price stopped. You know, I'm sure you'll find something in there that will give you a clue as to why price actually stopped there, but you can see prices come down. So we've got this level above us and this level below us, so this one here and this one here where price is effectively stuck between, but the range is, you know, more than enough for us to find something, you know, to trade between. So let's drop down to the daily and see how that looks. Just zoom in a little bit. Okay, so we had the initial response from here. We've had a secondary response from here. We came up, very aggressive response. Now, just to point out, little side issue here. You see this drop just there, and then the reversal just there is effectively two days, and then this is just one candle. All right. Well, if you go up on a high enough time frame, you'll see that this will be this. Yeah. So these two candles will be depicted as one tail like this on a higher time frame. Yeah, that's important. And I'll put it out there now. So later, when I do some videos sometimes and I discuss certain things, it'll already be in your head, and it will just be easier to come to mind as I'm going through certain things. So we had the secondary tap into liquidity just there, here into this one, and then obviously a really nice drop on Friday. So we may get some continuation. The most obvious place, if we've already just come from this higher level up here, which is the consolidation on the weekly chart, and we've had a really nice response there, and then a really nice drop on Friday, the most obvious place that price is going to want to go, or at least it seems at the minute, okay, is going to be this low just here. All right, to dip deeper into this one. So what we'll do, again, just to try and make it a little bit clearer, we'll make a note of this, okay, and we'll make this yellow, okay, daily chart. So we've dipped into this literally right at the top of the liquidity pool. So if you take the whole area as one big liquidity pool, it's just dipped into the top a little bit, so there's a lot of it remaining. Let's take a look at how much movement we have. So we've got around about 45 to 50 pips or so. So there's enough. There's definitely enough range. And this is oh man, I've took the wrong one off. Can I undo on this? It doesn't matter, I'll do it again. And this is assuming, of course, that price opens where it's at and doesn't do any funny business or gaps or anything like that. So let's just clean this up a little bit. Sorry guys, I'm a bit anal like this. So let's drop down to the 4 hour and just see how all of this fleshes out. Okay. Yeah, so you can see, now when you're looking at the 4 hour chart like this, now it doesn't really matter where the day dividers are or what the days are or anything like that. For me, it really makes no difference. I know what the higher time frame's saying. I know where we are. There's the initial response. We've had a nice response up there. It's come back down. Now look at this. This is the most important part. We had that drop here and then the reversal, okay, and it goes up and it hits this level up here. It, you know, reaches the target, passes the 122 handle, rips a little bit more, and then reverses and negates completely. So it goes up and then it comes down. So this origin right here, where the move starts just there, is negated. Yeah. So the impulse leg up is taken by the move back down. It's finished. So whatever happened on the way back up is just basically neutralized on the way back down there. Yeah. Now it dips a little bit more, leaves the lows intact, comes up, and then it drops nicely to take the low, a little bit here, okay, and then it finishes just here. So that's a nice reversal. Yeah, that's a really nice reversal pattern. We do have, when you look at the 4 hours, you can't see this on the daily, but you can see it on the 4 hour. Do we have something that we'll just use the rectangle again, and we'll just do it like this, okay, and I'll make it red, just to denote. Sorry guys, I'm using the wrong colors here for the wrong one. That's the one, just to denote the liquidity where I believe it is. So this red area down here, so this low and this low, is where I believe price is going to go. Ideally, this is the best scenario. When the market opens on Sunday, and we're asking for a lot now, yeah. But ideally, when the market opens on Sunday, going into Monday, we really want price to basically do nothing, either to just go sideways and then run up on Monday, or to just run up straight off the open. Yeah, so to run up straight off the open, which give us an opportunity to find a better price, and more importantly, to open up the range for us to take a trade into this down here, because this is where price is going to end up going. Yeah, I don't believe price is going to go up. This is too much of an aggressive response from the higher time frame level. The order flow is showing that it's going lower, it's showing that it's offloaded all the buy liquidity, and it's showing that it's picked up sell liquidity. So there's absolutely no reason for this to go higher unless something insane happens. So the odds are extremely high that price is going to continue going lower now on the euro. And this is the first place it's going to need to hit in terms of liquidity, and then to eat into this imbalance to rebalance down here. So there's plenty of range, yeah. But in terms of risk, it would be nice if price goes up. But more importantly, we need price to go up so it doesn't do it straight away. If the market opens on Sunday and it just starts to bleed lower, then we're going to miss the trade effectively, yeah. And that's what we want to avoid. That's something that we have no choice. Obviously, if it happens, it happens. But this is something that would be unfavorable for us. So we really want to see price going higher. So that's the euro. Simple analysis. Nothing too complicated. In terms of the upside, it really doesn't matter, to be honest, where it goes, because ultimately I look for confirmation anyway. If it starts to drive higher, and say for example gets up here, I'm not going to take a trade up here. I'm still going to wait for price to come back down and to negate and to turn and to to show that it's only picking up liquidity and reversing and continuing to go lower anyway. As long as the range is still big enough for me to go from wherever I'm going to be picking up a trade to these lows here and here to rebalance, then there's a trade for me. If the range is not big enough, then it's irrelevant. Yeah. So I'm really liking the way euro is at the minute, and we'll see what happens when the market opens on Sunday. Pound USD, I do like the analysis we did on this so far. Obviously, we do have a much larger liquidity pool up here, and the pound has been showing a lot of strength. Okay, this is a pretty aggressive response, but it's not insane. It's not as aggressive as euro. The release up here wasn't as as strong as euro. So I'm not 100% convinced, and maybe this will be a little bit clearer as we get down to the lower time frames. We know that that's effectively just all of the liquidity that was here is gone. It's finished, so we can take that off now. There's still a large level of liquidity, huge liquidity pool up here. Let's drop down to the daily. Yeah, we're going to have to scrunch this up a lot so we can get a bit more information on the charts here. Yeah, you see, it's not. Yeah, it's a little bit harder on the pound on this. So what we're probably just going to end up having to do, you see, all that's happened here really is it's just dropped off that higher time frame level, and it's coming to another level down here. So this is actually a really easy one to analyze. So this area here, this small area of consolidation right here, where price has effectively just dipped into just here. Okay, it needs to clear this completely, and if it does clear this completely, the next area where we would expect price to want to go is going to be down here. Okay, and I'd even go as far as to say to encompass all of this here. But again, it needs to get through this one, and then it needs to get through this small area here. It's already dipped into it just there. Yeah, so it's unlikely, to be honest, I would say that we're probably going to get slow down on the pound. Let's go over to the 4 hour, just kind of break up. Okay. I was going to say something happened to the internet. I know they do weekend maintenance, so that's probably why it's a bit slow. 4 hour. You see, it's not as pronounced on the 4 hour the way that this turned. Bit of a drop. I mean, this is normal price action really for the pound USD, and it's very efficient on the way up. Yeah, nice flow. You know what I mean? Really nice price delivery on the way up. It only got a little bit ahead of itself there. An order hit the market just there. Okay, and then it starts to fulfill orders. Then it reached for liquidity as it popped into that big area, and then it started to reach for liquidity to the downside. There's not really much here, guys, to be honest. In terms of downside, I mean, it may reach for this, but it's nowhere near as clean as Euro USD. So I'm going to leave this one. We need more information on this. Pound Japanese yen. Again, and I just want to be really clear about something here on pound Japanese yen. That tails high. So effectively, it's not the whole box, guys. Right? I just wanted to denote this area above these highs just here, okay, that we've just cleared. So I'm going to take this now, remove it, and this is the area that I wanted to denote. Price has gone up there and it's effectively cleared it out, okay. The area that we can make a note of to say, okay, it is of interest, is this area up here, okay, where price just fell shy of, but because there was so much liquidity up here, okay, and a very small imbalance just here, okay, that's where the price response came from, and this is why it's so aggressive. Okay, so there has been objective fulfillment up there, and I'm going to take this off so it's not confusing. It's just more for reference at the time of doing this video. Again, you can see, I mean, in fact, it's even more pronounced. Look at that. You see price responded up here, came down, so it started to accelerate to reach for liquidity, found the liquidity, dropped, and it's picked up liquidity just here in this small area here. All right, so we'll make a note of this so we can see the pickup just here. All right, just there. Really nice price response away from that. All right, so let's see what that looks like on the 4 hour. Okay, so we may even get a pop on this to eat into this small area up here. In terms of downside, again, really efficient. And look at the way that this has been trading on the way up. Nice consolidation. Order hit the market just there. Order hit the market just there. So an order hits the market, reaches for liquidity, starts to grind sideways, sideways, sideways. Order hits the market, reaches for liquidity, and then efficient. Grinding nicely. Facilitating trade both sides of the market. Nice grind sideways, sideways, sideways. Efficient, 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 reaches for liquidity, reaches for liquidity, reaches for liquidity, reaches for liquidity, and then it starts to get messy here. So, but look at that price response just there. Really nice price response. So in terms of downside, it's actually been cleaned out down here and here. So the pickups happened here. This may actually go back up, to be fair, either back up just to clean out this small area up here. So what I would do is I'm going to make a note just here. Okay, can we use the fib? No, I'm not going to use the fib. I don't use the fib in terms of Fibonacci's. I just use the fib. I've took everything off except for the 0 and the 100 line. It just makes it easier for me to similar to spot, to people use supply and demand levels and things like that. That's how I used to use it, but I'll just do it this way. It's fine. So this area up here, I could have used a box, but I'll just do it like that because I want to see the price points. Yeah. So if price does dip, actually, you know what? This is very interesting. Very interesting. Let's do the half just there. I'm going to change this to a weird blue colour because we're on the 4 hour. So a dip on Monday and then a run higher. The range we have to play with is I'm not sure why that's showing up like that. There we go. What are we on? This is the 4 hour. Yeah, okay, so about 159 or so pips. Is that right? 158. Yeah, so around about 160 pips or so. That's fine. It just shows up a bit weird on there. So there's plenty of range there. So this may be interesting on the way back up. And this would be a Japanese yen dependent thing. It's got nothing to do in terms of Japanese yen weakness, which would make sense based on this pop on the USD Japanese yen and the euro maintaining up here. Because you see the pullback, the drop on euro. If we go down to the daily of the euro JPY, it's not as aggressive. Yeah, it wasn't as aggressive. Yeah, because the euro is stronger against the Japanese yen, just as the dollar is stronger against the Japanese yen, just as the pound is stronger against the Japanese yen. So right now we don't really care whether or not the pound USD is going lower. Right now we're trying to deduce whether or not the Japanese yen is going to maintain its weakness, right, which will allow the pound to continue going higher into this small area here and offer an opportunity to take 30 or 40 pips, because this is quite volatile, so we'll definitely get that. So we'll keep an eye on this one. So far, Euro USD and the pound Japanese yen, they're on the focus list for now. The pound Aussie dollar, I mean, look, for me, as I said, and I've said this before, this is the only area that I'm interested in. If it keeps doing stuff like this, then I just don't care. Yeah, there's nothing. Yes, I can read the price and I can see where it's going. I can look for, the ins and outs and where the pickups were, where the buy liquidity is, the sell liquidity, where it's offloading, where it's picking up orders, where the orders are coming into the markets, the order flows, and all this good stuff. But in the end, I've got no interest in it. The only thing I care about is this area of liquidity down here, because this is the largest area of liquidity, right, relative to this consolidation and the way that price is moving. Yeah. So until it does what I want it to do, I'm just going to keep bypassing it. And the same with the excuse me, the USD Japanese yen. But we are using this as a tool to gauge what's going on with the Japanese yen relative to some of the other currencies that we're looking to open trades on, because it contains the Japanese yen, so we can use it as cross pair analysis and strength analysis relative to those other currencies as well. So as we just did. So in terms of doing anything with this specifically, there's nothing. But in terms of doing the analysis with the Japanese yen, it's actually a very good pair to have. USD CAD, again, really nice price response. Where do we go from here? Let's go down to the daily, because this is pretty messy here. All right, so we need to open this up and break it down a little bit more. Okay, so daily wise, very nice response. We've got some highs here, they'll probably get tagged. We've got a small area consolidation here, but because this is so messy, yeah, it's again not really much to see. Scrunch this up a little bit more. Yeah, not much. Not much. You see, as it's going up, it's picking up and selling off, picking up and selling off, picking up. It's doing both sides of the market. It's not just one. It snapped there as it was reaching for liquidity, and then it's just back and forth, both sides of the market. It's offloaded a little bit here towards the end of the session, but other than that, there's a lot of mess up here. So we need more information on this. Euro Japanese yen. In terms of daily, again, coming into a very large area down here. This is going to get messy. I'm going straight past this one, guys. Aussie dollar, Japanese yen, a new pair for us, guys. But I wanted to add this to the mix. Another large area up here. Look, let me show you something. So a nice area up here. Price beautifully came up there. Took all of this out. There is an imbalance over here and a small area up here that it may want to tag, but this is a little bit later down. We're talking, we're going to need to see a lot more weakness in the Japanese yen for that to happen. But for now, what we will do in terms of study is we're going to make a note of this area here. we're going to drop down to the 4 hour. Okay, get a little bit of a feel there. Consolidation, nice grind, consolidation, orders hit the market, reaches for liquidity to fulfill those orders, grinding sideways, a bit more controlled price action, reaches a little bit more, much more fluid on the way up, as you can see, not aggressive. You see how on pound Japanese yen it started to reach really quickly towards the end, and I was saying I really want to see that last final capitulation. It's not what happened here. It paused on the way up, and then it slowly started to just grind up there. It started to accelerate a little bit, and then it paused a little bit more, just tipped over, grabbed whatever it needed to do, fulfilled its orders, and then it just, on the way down is when it started to just pick up a little bit more speed, and it comes straight back to the point of, the point of release just there, the origin just there. So in terms of downside, I mean, again, this is decent, facilitation both sides of the market, nice and efficient. So I mean, I don't know. In terms of downside, I mean, there is a small area here, there is an imbalance over here. Is price going to want to come as low as that? I mean, we're talking a huge distance, really. So I can't see it. That's 2%. I mean, we'll see. We'll monitor it going into the remainder of the going into the week. Coming. And if there's anything interesting on this, then obviously we'll do something with this. Gold, very nice drop on gold, and I'm going to drop down to the weekly on gold, because I do believe that we are probably going to end up seeing on gold, and I actually want to see this on gold, this area down here. This is where I want to see gold. May see 1650 basically, starting to accelerate a little bit, so that would be nice. And if we are very lucky, we may see 1565 if we are very lucky. Okay, so these are just a couple of areas that I'm going to be monitoring going forward. And again, this is all about physical currency, like the physical gold. This has got nothing to do with actually trading. This is about buying physical gold. Silver, again, a little bit of a dip. May need to just drop down to the weekly chart just to see. But there was a small dip that was Goldman Sachs related, Reddit related, everything that's going on with that GameStop and everything else. But this is just normal silver. But it is holding in this area, and what's interesting is after this happened, it didn't just drop and come back in all the way down here. It's holding up here. So I still feel 35 is on the cards for silver at some point in the future. So we will keep an eye on this as always. And again, this is about the physical metal as opposed to doing anything with this, with this itself. So we'll just again keep an eye on it. When we see what we want to see, obviously we'll take it from there. So with that said, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I've no idea how long the video has been going, but I hope you found it useful. As always, I'm going to continue to do the videos on a daily basis. Make sure that you stay on top of the episodes to keep a track of the flow as we're going into the weeks. Just a quick recap. We took a few trades, so the account balance has gone from 250 to 270.54. Don't expect anything spectacular at this point. It's just about adding a few numbers, a few pounds here and there, until the account gets to a solid amount. If it drops, obviously I'll use some of the other money that's in the savings account. The total is £1,000, as I've said. 750 is on the side, 250 is in the broker, and the total that I'm playing with is £1,000 for this YouTube account, this study account that I'm using to show you guys what I'm showing you. So I guess you could say the full balance is £1,020.54. So we've got a profit of £20.54. Might take it out and buy a steak, but we'll see. So I'll leave it at that, guys. As always, if you are finding these videos helpful, please give them a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel so you can get updates. And I look forward to seeing you guys on Monday. I won't do a Sunday episode. There's no point. I'll watch the markets on Sunday, keep an eye on them, just as a quick looky. And then on Monday, when I get back, I get back home in the afternoon, I'll do a quick update. And if there's anything interesting, I'll let you know in the episode. All right, guys, take care, and I'll speak to you then.